You don't have a discipline problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a misalignment problem. You're trying to build a life without understanding how the pieces actually connect. So you keep starting over, rebuilding, burning out, because you've been treating your life like separate tasks instead of a house that has to stand together. And today, we fix that. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Shou Talks. If you're new here, this isn't a regular podcast. I like to think of this as a house. In every episode, we walk into a different room that signifies a part of your life. Now, we've already stepped into our core rooms: foundation, discipline, becoming, covenant, enterprise, and the legacy room. But today we're not entering another core room. We're stepping into the integration room. Because here's the truth. You don't need more information, not in this moment. You need alignment. So this room is where everything you've just learned finally connects. The integration room is where your life stops being fragmented and starts becoming intentional. It's where your habits match your values. Your actions match your identity. Your work actually matches your purpose. Because most people understand pieces of their life, but very few people understand how those pieces are supposed to work together. And that's why things feel off, even when you're doing everything right. Because you can have a strong foundation, but no discipline to maintain it. You can have discipline, but be becoming the wrong version of yourself. You can be evolving without any real commitment to yourself. You can commit, but build something that means nothing. And you can build and still leave nothing behind. That's the gap. And integration, well, that's how we close that gap. I remember a season where on paper, everything looked solid. I was showing up, I was working, I was producing, but something felt off because I was operating in pieces. I had discipline in one area, but no clarity in another. I was building, but not aligned with who I was becoming. And it created this quiet frustration, like, why doesn't this feel as good as it's supposed to be? And that was my first realization that effort doesn't equal alignment. And if your life isn't aligned, it will never feel stable. Your foundation, that sets your standard. Everything starts with your foundation. Your beliefs, your environment, what you've normalized. If your foundation is unstable, everything built on top of it will require constant correction. You don't rise above your foundation. You operate from it. Now, discipline, that's what holds your structure together. Discipline is not punishment. It's maintenance. It's what keeps your life from collapsing every time life gets hard. Without discipline, your foundation cracks. Your becoming stalls. Your commitments break. Discipline is the glue. Becoming, that's about direction, not just growth. Growth by itself is dangerous because you can grow into someone you don't even recognize. Becoming forces you to ask, who are you actually evolving into? Or what are you improving? Now, your covenant, that's a non-negotiable agreement with yourself. And this is where most people fall apart. Because when things get hard, they renegotiate. But covenant says, I don't break agreements with myself. This is identity level commitment. Enterprise is what you build. This is your execution, your work, your systems, your output. But hear me clearly. Building something is not the same as building something meaningful. And legacy is what remains. Legacy is not what you create. It's what continues because you existed. It's impact, transfer, continuation. Enterprise is what you build. Legacy is what endures. Now, I've told this story before, I believe in the foundation room, but I'm going to bring it up again. There was a moment under the barbell where all of this clicked for me. Heavyweight. A weight I knew I could move. But mentally, I hesitated. And in that hesitation, I failed the lift. Not because I wasn't strong enough, although that's what I told myself at one point, but because everything wasn't aligned. My mindset, my discipline, my belief. And that moment showed me something real. Strength is not just physical. It's integrated. When everything is aligned, you move differently. And when it's not, you feel that immediately. I want you to sit with this. Be honest. Where in your life are you operating in pieces instead of alignment? Which room are you strongest in right now? And which one are you neglecting? What would your life look like if all 6 rooms actually worked together? And here's your call out. Stop overdeveloping one area while ignoring the others. That imbalance is costing you more than you think. Let's make this practical. Here's what integration actually looks like. You don't just wake up early, because a lot of people think that's discipline. You wake up with intention. That's your foundation. You don't just chase growth. You define who you're becoming. You don't just set goals. You make commitments you don't break. You don't just build. You build something that matters. And you don't just think about impact. You live in a way that creates it. Start small. Pick one area of your life this week and ask yourself, are all 6 rooms present here? If not, fix the gap. That's integration. Your life is not random. It's constructed. Every habit, every decision, every standard. You're building something whether you realize it or not. The real question is, does it stand? Does it make sense? Will it last? Because a well-built life, that's not loud at all. It's aligned. If this episode spoke to you, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's building, but might be building in pieces. Make sure you're following Shou Talks on all platforms. New episodes drop every Wednesday. And if you haven't already, leave a review, drop a comment, and let me know which room you're working on right now. I'll meet you there. In the meantime, protect your peace, honor your growth, and let's integrate the rooms in our house. I'll see you in the next room.